All right, so from where we left off, again, on the last video we talked about altitude of a pyramid is the perpendicular distance from the apex to the base, and that I have that in green, you'll notice right here on this pyramid, this square pyramid. The slant height that I have in the blue dash line goes from, again, the edge of the base perpendicular up the side to the apex. Now, again, slant height is usually labeled with S, altitude is usually labeled with H, okay? So what I did here was, pyramids, like prisms, are identified according to the shape of their base. And I gave the 3D picture here, and I also underneath gave the net of each of those where we unfolded it. So again, the first one here is a square pyramid. Why? Because it has a square base. And the lateral faces, again, are going to be all triangles, in this case isosceles. And you'll notice that here again, here is your base in orange. And then you have the 4 yellow rectangles which make up your lateral faces. And in this case, they're all isosceles. Now, I am going to show you something that hopefully will make it a little bit better. The slant height S, again, if you look at this lateral face, I'll just draw here, would be the distance from the base along this lateral face perpendicularly to the apex. So that right there is your slant height, which again we label with an S. Okay? And on the second picture we have a triangular pyramid, or we call it tetrahedron. And again, here in shaded is your base. Let me use a different color. Let me use the same color I did before. Here's your triangular base. And then here are your 3 isosceles triangles, which are your lateral faces. Now in a right pyramid, those lateral faces will always be isosceles triangles. Okay? So again, first one on a square pyramid, you got a base and 4 lateral faces. On your triangular pyramid, you got the base, and which is again shaded in, and then 3 lateral faces, which are isosceles triangles. Okay, now the formulas. And by the way, these formulas are on your formula sheet, and I'll show you this here in a second. If you do not have your formula sheet with you, what I did was on your Google page, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to classwork, right here, don't go to stream, go to classwork, at the top is the formula sheet. And if you just hit on that, there is your formula sheet right there. Okay? There it is in all its glory, just like the one you have. All right? So if you don't have yours, ladies and gentlemen, then here it is. Okay? Now, and by the way, the front are all the area formulas. The back are all your lateral, and I don't like to say lateral surface area, but just lateral area, and then your volumes. And we're looking at pyramids, which are right here. Okay? So, you have that at your disposal. Now, if we go back to what we were looking at here, so, for pyramids, the lateral area, call it lateral, is equal to 1/2 times the perimeter of the base times the slant height. So you're going to find the perimeter of the base, the distance around it, times the slant height, not H, not the altitude, the slant height, and then take it times 1/2. That's your lateral area, L. To find the total surface area, you're just going to add in the base. You're going to find, again, your lateral area, which we just talked about, plus the area of their base. And this value of the area of the base just depends on what shape it is. Though, again, if it's a square, you use this area of a square formula. If it's a triangle, use the area of a triangle formula. All those formulas on the front page of your formula sheet. So again, this is just the area of the base. It's basically this area right in here, okay? And then volume, you just take 1/3 the area of the base, which is in blue here, times the perpendicular height. Again, from the middle of the base straight up to the apex, perpendicular to the base. Not hard formulas to use, but again, just like with prisms, you gotta be careful and you've gotta be orderly, you gotta be neat, organized, and make sure you show all your work, so if you make a mistake, you can go ahead and show that work and find it, so if you make a mistake, you can go back and find your mistake.